Even I'm starting.
Yeah.
Started.
So session is live now.
It's live now.
Okay. Shall I start, sir?
Yes, please go ahead, Jivanji.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And welcome. Good evening, friends and stakeholders from the cooperative society sector.
तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible, Navneet, sir?
Yes, Jivanji, you are audible, but we are not able to view you.
Yeah. Am I right now?
Yes, no.
Is it fine?
Yes, perfectly right.
Yeah. Good evening, friends and stakeholders from the cooperative societies sector. Joining us in today's session on Sahkar se Samriddhi, enhancing cooperative profitability and sustainable growth. I, Jivan Chandra, Regional Council Member, Institute of Cost Accountant of India. I welcome you on behalf of Corporate Development Board of the Institute of Cost Accountant of India. Friends, as you are aware, the Cooperative Development Board of the Institute of Cost Accountant of India has been conducting a series of webinars for knowledge dissemination and professional hand-holding on various issues and aspects governing the cooperative sector of India. Now we are pleased to start our first webinar in this series. Hope you will enjoy the session with lot of knowledge. Now I would like to invite our special guest of today, Sri Mohan Kumar Misra ji. He is Secretary of the National Council for Cooperative Trainings to address our CMA members and stakeholders from the cooperative sectors, society sector who has joined us online for this event. Mohan Misra ji is
Yes.
a valued member of our Cooperative Development Board also, providing tremendous help in all our initiative. We are always grateful for his active support and participation in our programs. Recently, we have signed MOU with NCCT and he was instrumental to make it happen. Sir, now I would like to invite you, Mohan sir. Kindly grace the occasion with your words.
Welcome on, sir.
Mohan sir, kindly unmute yourself. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Namaskar. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir,
you
you
are
are
audible,
audible.
sir. Perfectly right, sir.
Namaskar. Thank you. Thank you so much. Uh, uh, Respected Chairman, CMA Shri Ashwin Dalwadi ji, and the Vice President CMA Vibhuti Bhushan Nayak ji, the Chairman of Cooperative Development Board of ICMA, CMA Navneet Kumar Jain, uh, and our esteemed speaker today, Harshad Deshpande ji, and uh, the program is always successful when we have CMA Mr. Chandra with us. So, and all esteemed colleagues and uh, cooperative members who have joined on this webinar, and distinguished guests and students, uh, and also the RCS offices of various country part of the country we had circulated. If they are there, we welcome you also, and our directors of ICM and Webnicom and also RICM. Uh, it is really a great honor and privilege for me to address on this webinar on a topical issue which called uh, prosperity through cooperatives, Sahkar se Samriddhi. Uh, this is what has been envisioned by Honorable Prime Minister that everything is possible for the rural prosperity through Sahkar, says Samriddhi. So cooperatives have the capability to give the prosperity to rural India. They become the business magnet and driving force pan India. And today, fortunately, we have also celebrating World Environment Day. And I also welcome you. And in our institutes across Pan India is celebrating parallelly the Environment Day, planting plants across, organizing webinar parallelly. So as we navigate the complex landscape of economic development and environmental stewardship, it is imperative that we recognize the unique role which is being played by cooperatives in bringing both profitability and sustainability and equitable society. I am very sure all of you must be knowing that cooperatives are the value-based economic entity enterprises. They have, unlike a traditional business model where profit is the main concern and motive, cooperative operates on a different paradigm where mutuality, democratic governance, and equitable distribution of resources are the concern. This dual focus of socio-economic goal makes cooperative a powerful agent for transformation and for sustainable development. Cooperative is not new. Its root, if you look up back, its root can be traced back in 19th century. And the first cooperative model, the society was registered in India, was in way back in 1904 in a place in Tamil Nadu called Tirur. So it was a primary cooperative society there. And this is now almost in the country, we have more than 8 lakh cooperative societies with 29 crore of members, which are part and parcel of this society working for their livelihood, social security, mutual aid. And these are these institutions which are, when I said it is value based, they are driven from certain principle. They are the principles of voluntary and open membership, democratic member control, members economic participation, autonomy, giving sufficient emphasis to training and education, building the human capital. And also one of the most important part is cooperation among cooperative and concern for community, where the environmental side is being also looked at. These are the guiding principles for cooperative, and they are relevant today. They were relevant in the past, and also it will be relevant in future as well. Despite facing many ups and downs of economy, cooperative always remained very, very relevant. Most of you must have come across when the recent example was the COVID, when the entire world was almost, the businesses were closed, people were remained at their household, restrictions of movements were there, but still we all were running our life only because the milk, dairy products, the vegetables, the rations were being provided by various cooperatives across the country for the livelihood, for the basic life support system of our economy. So friends, profitability is essential for the survival and growth of any enterprise in the world. But cooperatives are also, I say, not exceptions. They must leverage their unique strength from it. But the approach to profitability within the cooperative is different. Here we have one member, one vote principle. Any person can become the member of the cooperative voluntarily by subscribing a minimum number of equity share subject to its availability. I feel that the key strategies to enhance cooperative profitability depends upon, in today's era, the active membership. If members are active, board is dynamic, definitely cooperative business will thrive and part of profitability, part of dividend will be given to the benefit of the members. So we have to ensure cooperative remains responsive to the need and aspiration of their members. Engaged members for patronize their cooperative services. When services A is available within the cooperative fold, it is the duty and responsibility of the members to receive that services from the cooperative fold. Then only it will drive growth and revenue generation and profitability. To build the human resources, human capital, the education training is one of programs, which is a continuous program for the board of directors, for the members, for the employees of the cooperative, so that the kind of skill set, the knowledge which is required for effective to run the cooperatives effectively, to build the successful cooperative institution is the need of the hour. We also feel that the innovation makes the institution competitive, and cooperatives also need to adopt new technologies, improving their operational efficiencies and diversifying product portfolio and services. The upcoming technology like uh, AI, the artificial intelligence, deep learning, data analytics, digital marketing, leveraging the social media, etc., for branding, for services, are some of the areas which are not only cost effective, fast, but also gives the added advantage of providing services to the members. So we feel that time has come when some of the successful cooperatives across India should be open-minded for increasing their operational efficiency, uh, adopt new technologies. This is the need of the hour so that they remain competitive in this era. Another area which I personally feel that could enhance the profitability of the cooperatives would be diversification. Portfolio diversification helps to mitigate risk and opens up new revenue streams. For instance, agriculture cooperative, let us take an example where we need to have value-added microprocessing unit, macro processing units, branding, there's B2B, B2C business models. Now, tax, which were traditionally the center for providing loans, credit to the farmers, or to conventional role of distribution of fertilizer, seeds, have now come into business model, and now they are the uh, center for helping the farmers through common service center CSC, or they are the shops for generic medicines or fuel stations or water supply for that matter. So these are the few areas where cooperatives are getting into to become a vibrant force in the for the rural prosperity. Another area which is equally important, which decides the cooperative profitability, would be, which I said, cooperation among cooperative, and also collaboration with the cooperative and organizations, which can create synergy, reduce the cost, and hence market access. So what we have to do is we have to look for the strategic alliances, which are equally important, which can give a competitive edge to the cooperatives with resources and expertise, which is needed to tackle the large projects for the rural prosperity. Uh, One very important area which I come across and which is the need of the hour is implementing sound financial management practices which will ensure cooperative to use the resources effectively. I personally feel that cooperative must undertake their audit or the financial audit on a regular interval, which must have the transparent, what we call it, reporting and a prudent budgeting. And I'm very sure this is the essential component for good governance. And the role of ICMI is vital and necessary both for the credit and non-credit sector of the cooperative. So the financial management practices and utilizing the modern management techniques to have lean management, to utilize data analytics, to increase the operational efficiencies where cost accounted are required for the cooperative as a enterprise, where they can deliberate, they can guide, they can bring out SOPs for the sectoral SOPs, they can bring out, I personally feel, if possible, they can sensitize the cost aspect, cost management aspect to the cooperative will make this institution really competitive and profitable. So when I look at the sustainability part, uh, uh, I assure you, it is in the heart of the cooperative model. It involves meeting the need of the present without adversely affecting the ability of the future generation to meet their own need. What we have to achieve is to cooperative must lead by example in adopting environmental friendly practices. This includes sustainable agriculture practices. Source, it could be reducing the carbon, what we call it, carbon footprint. We can have many interactive programs for reducing the carbon footprints and promoting the use of renewable energy for the cooperative. I look forward for ICMI, if they have got any expertise in this area, would go a long way in making this sustainable cooperative or future ready cooperatives at least. Uh, so similarly, for the agriculture cooperative, sustainable farming practices such as I call it crop rotation, or we call it organic farming, or water conservation, various methods of water conservation, they are very crucial and needed, for which collaboration of those institutions which have got the expertise on this area would be great help in understanding, would lead to rural prosperity through cooperatives. Beyond economic gains, cooperatives have the responsibility to contribute positively to the communities and to the society at large. This can achieve through community development uh, projects, programs, CSR initiatives, educational initiatives, and support for the local enterprise. Sustainable growth requires a long-term vision. Cooperative must prioritize investment that yields long-term profits, even if they do not find any uh, mm, immediate returns in it. We know that in India, we have got many inspiring, successful cooperatives that have successfully balanced profitability with sustainability. One of the example which I would like to bring forth here with the August in this August gathering is the example of Indian Coffee House. Many of us in Delhi had could have remembered our old days in Regal or in Baba's Khadak Singh Mar, where there used to be Indian Coffee House. It was originated from Kerala, a place called Kannur, where cooperatives of coffee roasters, they are the farmers. They're dedicated and building a fair and sustainable coffee supply chain with their presence today in more than 200 districts in India. They are located in very, very vital areas where the center of the cities in town, in tier 1, tier 2 cities, tier A, tier B cities. By working directly with the coffee farmers of Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, to some extent Andhra Pradesh, uh, and focusing on the uh, uh, organic practices, this cooperative coffee house ensures profitability for its member while promoting environmental sustainability. It has one of the success example of from the cooperative fold at the primary level. This cooperative is registered as a primary cooperative in the marketing sector in Kerala. One of the giant example which we also come across is the example of Amul, a dairy cooperative. So it is a household name, very heavily loaded branding values, which has revolutionized the entire dairy industry in the India and globally through their innovation in the dairy processing and marketing. They created a robust market for its value-added products while ensuring fair prices for its farmer members. And very important part of this cooperative is the 90% of the profit of dairy cooperative goes back to dairy farmer, which has almost a distribution of 30 crore. I'm giving the example of Amul. If 30 crore rupees is being distributed daily, and major chunk goes to the women farmers, dairy farmers of the villages. So one way that they are also uh, gender balanced, empowering women, and giving a sustainable solution to the community. And in the same way, now one very important area, which is the thrust area, is a primary agriculture cooperative society, which is the last mile for everything in Indian rural villages. So almost 1 lakh societies, out of which 63,000 societies are the functional societies. And besides their traditional role of distribution of loan to the farmers, their number is 13 crore. The 63,000 functional cooperative is represented by 13 crore farmers of India. And besides the traditional role of distribution of loan, long-term and short-term credit, distribution of fertilizer seeds, providing godown facilities, logistic support, now with the intervention of the central government, few more roles have been given to these packs in India to make them more viable and purposeful economic entity by providing them facility of each packs will work as a common service center. They would be the point of water supply to the villages. They will work as a farmer support system. They are the shops for the generic medicine and agriculture produce. And the model is so successful. Now it is proposed that in next 5 years, uh, in each panchayat of the country will have another 2 lakhs of packs as a economic entity will be established in either packs or multi-purpose society or dairy societies or fishery society, depending upon its viability. So, friends, cooperatives have the unique potential to drive prosperity through balanced approach to profitability and sustainability. By adhering to cooperative principle, values, embracing innovation, and also committing to environmental and social responsibility, cooperatives create lasting values for their members and communities in the society. Various initiatives have been taken up to revitalize cooperative sector in India by after the formation of the Ministry of Cooperation, aiming to rebuild trust among the masses and improve the lives of these 290 million members associated from 8 lakh cooperative societies. Government has dedicated to ensure financially viable and sustainable and competitive cooperative sector in India to ensure equitable development in India, progressing, which will further help in progressing towards becoming a reality of what we call it Viksit Bharat 2047. So let us work together to ensure the profitability of our cooperatives while staying true to the principle of sustainable growth. By doing this, we can build a more equitable, prosperous, and sustainable future for all. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, sir. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Mohan sir.
Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot,
very
sir.
much. Thank you very much for your deep insight and continuous support to the institute, sir. We appreciate your participation in this program. Sir, as you rightly said, the cooperative have a unique role and these are value-based economic entities. As cooperative operates in different paradigm and work for sustainable development. Sir, you also highlighted the need of sound financial management services, costing and management practices, and budgeting are essential component of good governance in cooperative sector. Modern management practices are also the need of time, and we as cost and management accountant will definitely work in this area. We will work together, sir, and we always need your guidance to improve and implement such activities in cooperative sector. Once again, thank you, Mohan sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now I would like to invite the chairman of CBD, CMA Navneet Kumar Jain sir to deliver his speech and grace the webinar with the insights.
Thank you, Jeevanji. Thanks a lot
Welcome, sir.
for handling the webinar. And before I start, I would like to welcome our special guest, Mohan Mishra ji, who is really a guide to us. Uh, Blessing in disguise for our Cooperative Development Board. That is what I can tell. The reason being because he is always so helpful that whenever we need any type of, you can say, guidance from sir with regard to the Cooperative Development Board, he is always there. And I'm happy to inform to all the members who are present over here, though we had communicated that we, you can say, had an MOU with the NCCT, wherein we had, you can say, said that, okay, we will be organizing the programs together. And I was really happy to see that as and when we entered the MOU within next few days, our Pimpri chapter along with Gemnicom, one of the you can say organ of NCCT had one program, very good program, full day program at Pimpri. So now thing is that I call that our alliance with the NCCT, which is you can say a combination of various Institute of Cooperative Management (ICM), as a very good combination because when we combine AI with ICM, Institute of Cooperative Management, with the artificial intelligence that comes to ICM AI, that we are, sir, we are ICM AI. So practically ICM plus AI becomes our ICM AI. So, sir, thanks a lot for throwing some light on the way we should be moving ahead with regard to the cooperatives or what the cooperative should do. Jeevanji has already told that, okay, we talked about various things, sound financial management practices. Apart from that, effective utilization of resources, which is the core area of all the cost accountants. So one thing I was able to, you can say, gather from your address that now the cooperatives are getting into multifarious activities. They are getting into different type of activities. Here, I'll request that what you can say introduction of cost and management practices is very much required because the cooperatives must need to know that whenever they are getting into the newer areas, whether those areas are profitable or not, though they might be earning profits right now and tomorrow they start the new activities, whether those activities will be profitable or not. And uh, practically what happens whenever we go in for new activities, we should try to have a, you can say, uh, we need to decide in beforehand that whenever we start the new activity, whether it is going to give me any type of profit or not, or should I be keep on doing this activity even if I am incurring loss for some another reason. We need to understand all those things, and our uh, you can say speaker Harsha Deshpande ji will be deliberating a lot on this. I would like to, you can say, tell the members about the few activities which we have undertaken, few initiatives which we have already undertaken at the Cooperative Development Board, which is, you can say, practically we did a few activities with the various chapters. Through this forum, I will request all the members who are present here and are from the different parts of the country, they can get in touch with us. We want to, you can say, take this activity forward and have programs across India so that we can have an interaction with the cooperatives in your areas. And ultimate purpose is that we need to specifically aim at increasing the profitabilities of the cooperatives. Till now, the cooperatives were not having the hand holding by the professionals, and NCCT brought us in that arena that we as cost accountants will be there to handhold them for giving different type of trainings in the areas of taxation, financial management, cost management, and another areas also. One why this practically you can say webinar was organized. I keep on you can say interacting with the various you can say various persons who are deeply involved into the cooperative sector, and one thing came to our notice that something need to be done with regard to the increasing the profitability of these cooperatives. They are doing wonderful job, but they are not so much tech savvy, and they are not so much aware of the various complexities of the running the businesses. Though we can see n number of you can say cooperatives are very much successful. And but when we dig deep into the data, we can see that many of the cooperatives are not so successful. And what are the reasons for that? Those reasons are required to be proved, and for that we will be there. Whenever the required, we can assist the government in those matters. I was going through the national cooperative data. Luckily, the government of India has come up with a very good thing. Based on the similar lines, the MCA data is there. We can, if we have to check any, you can say company's data, we can go to the MCA site and have a look at the company's data. Same way the government took the initiative. Government mentioned about 54 initiatives, and one of the initiative was with regard to the creation of the National Cooperative Database. Government has fulfilled that activity, completed that activity, and it's a really praiseworthy thing that the cooperatives which were scattered across the India and were, you can say, having their presence in different states now have a common platform, that is National Cooperative Database. From there, anybody can go and check the data. Being a person from the Cooperative Development Board, I was curious to know that what is there in the data. Luckily, we did one exercise, and I will not take too much of a time. I will take 2 or 3 minutes more. Luckily, we did one exercise, and we came across that data is required to be modified a lot, because we could see that even in a single state where not more than 10 or 12,000 cooperatives are there, you can say one specific phone number was repeated more than 1,000 times in the cooperative that database. Out of the 8 lakh societies which we studied, only 4 lakh, approximately 4 lakh societies, cooperative societies had the phone numbers, and that too not fully correct. And so far as email IDs are concerned, not more than 90,000, 80,000 email IDs are there. When we are going to create any type of database, one thing is very required, that connectivity has to be there. And in present scenario, we can connect the cooperatives through the email IDs or through the mobiles. But we can see these things are required to be improved at the you can say Ministry of Cooperation level, which I hope they will be undertaking. And while going through, you can say I was telling you that I was having discussions. Apart from having discussions with the various members who were in the cooperative sector, just surfing through the net, I came across the UN resolution of 16 December 2021. And if you see that that resolution specifically asked the government to do too much of activities with regard to the activity which we are doing right now, creating some sort of awareness with regard to the increasing the profitability. It says that attention of the government is drawn to the recommendations in the general in the report of the Secretary General to specifically focus on the cooperatives to focus support on cooperatives as sustainable and successful business enterprises that contribute directly to decent employment generation. 8 lakh societies and 29 crores of cooperative members. This is the size of the cooperative sector in India and which is growing day by day. Thanks, Mohan sir. You have rightly pointed out that the government's intention is to increase the cooperative societies by approximately 2 lakh numbers. So much more of the masses will get into the fold of cooperatives. On the one side it is there, and on the other side, we as a professional see an opportunity over there that if more and more cooperatives come into picture, definitely role of CMS will increase day by day. Only thing is that we as a professionals who are having a broad base need to get in touch with the cooperatives. Many of the members from the cooperatives are also attending across India for this webinar. We request you to take the help of our CMS wherever you feel that some sort of profitability improvement is required, some sort of effective utilization of resources is required. Our chapters are across India, more than approximately 116 chapters are there. And if anybody needs, one can put in details, one can put in the chat box. We will be sending all the details to them. We can send the link to all the cooperatives that okay, these are the different chapters are there across India with whom the cooperatives can get in touch and take their help. One more announcement from here I would like to make that on 6th of July, it is an International Cooperation Day and International Cooperatives Day. And what we have, you can say, sent a mail to all the chapters across India that all must celebrate International Cooperatives Day. And for that, some standardized standee design has already been sent. We request you to organize some program with the you can say cooperative societies who are within near your vicinity. Call them, have interactions, do some and do the activity. At least we can go in for this type of activity which we are doing presently. I will not take much time and I'll request Harshaji to take over. Let me introduce Harshaji. Harshaji, are you there? Harshaji.
Yes, sir.
Harshaji is my council colleague. He is a center council member from WAS and he is a chairman of Agriculture Board also. He has already conducted various webinars, various programs in the cooperative sector. Not only this, he is also an insolvency professional and valuer. He has immense knowledge and let us take benefit of his knowledge that how can he help the cooperatives to increase the profitabilities. Over to you, Harshaji. Sorry, I have taken your little bit of time. Sorry for that.
No, sir, it was quite wonderful to listen to whatever work you have done. And this is being new board and whatever the initiatives you have been taking, it has been seen the efforts, in the right direction. And we are thankful to also cooperative department, especially Mishra sir, to being with us and helping our members to grow in this field and taking such a keen interest. So it was wonderful listening to you. In fact, both of you are being stalwarts in this cooperative sector. So really, it was my pleasure to listen to your address. Thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity for me. So I would like to take this session in such a way that we want to see that what are the points of improvement. So this is my small introduction, so I will not take much of time. My friend Navneet has already introduced to you. Can you see your PPT, Navneet ji?
Yes, I can see PPT, but I think we need to ask from Isha. Isha, are you there? Isha,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Just see whether, because I'm not able to see PPT in presentation mode, you can see from your end because ours is a presenter mode, so I am not able to view that.
It's not able. I have another session. It's not visible as of now.
It's not visible.
Yeah, yeah.
Just wait. Ashaji, please wait for a moment. I think it takes time, a few minutes.
Okay, I will reshare it.
Yes, please.
Please reshare. Ishaji, please see that it is PPT is in full presentation mode.
अब देखना.
Can you see now?
No, sir. It is there.
It is there.
Ishaji,
Yes, sir.
just see whether it is visible or not.
Sir,
I
visible.
request the audience to put in the question answer or chat box whether they are able to view it. I request the audience to put in the sir, one very good question from Jayaprakash ji is there for you, Harshad ji. Why cooperatives are not successful? What are those reasons? Please take this question along with that.
Okay, so that perhaps question we will answer in the first part itself. That what is the difference?
And the
Provided
presentation
you are able
is
to
visible now, huh? Presentation is visible now. Yeah.
visible. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes,
thank you very
visible,
much.
visible.
So perhaps this topic is Sahkar se Samriddhi, enhancing the cooperative's profitability with the sustainable growth. This is the topic what we have chosen. So you must have wondering that what the pic I have shown, and it's more of a corporate picture. And in cooperatives, perhaps we are not used to see such kind of a pictures. So you will see that why it is so, because I feel that one of the reasons and the one question that first came was the same in the line that perhaps the cooperatives is not having a corporate model. So this is what, because it is a cooperative. Okay. So what is the difference is that perhaps that best practices in corporates. So these are not getting replicated what perhaps could have done in the operations of the cooperatives. So that remains one of the most challenging part in the cooperatives because of the ownership structure. So by in my subsequent slide, I have taken up what is the point of differentiations between the organization structure. So what here we find is that the cooperatives, sir, has nicely given couple of examples of this Indian coffee house, or let us take the big example of Amul. You will see that inside you go into the Amul or any this Indian coffee shop also, you will feel that the management is running the show. Okay, although the owners are the farmers and the different members of the cooperatives, but the ownership or the management control is more of from the management side. So you will find that in a lot of cooperatives, although there is a possibility or there is a enough funds are available, the owners just try to save some money. They engage themselves into the operational side of the business, and that is where actually the difference it counts, because that sometimes that they are not so expert. Secondly, there could be conflict of interest. So that always is a matter of question in the cooperatives, that running a conflict of interest. So that that deteriorates the value of the cooperatives. So this perhaps remains a major challenge as far as I'm concerned, that how cooperatives can become a corporate. Okay, so having the corporate model but having the ownership structure of the cooperatives. So this is what perhaps is the need, and the cooperatives who have done it, they have been very, very successful, and there are such many examples are there which perhaps are doing very well in the cooperative sector. So this remains one point. So this slide, perhaps what I was going to talk is this we are going to this presentation explores this strategies to help the cooperatives to enhance their profitability and achieve the sustainable development. So it is very important to have a sustainable development, sustainable in terms of time sustainable. It should not be that only short term development. We want a continuous and a sustainable development, and sustainable in terms of the environment also. Okay, so today is a World Environment Day, so I congratulate all of you, and let us be committed to have a greener and better planet. So that sustainability also comes with that sustainability with respect to the our Mother Earth. So I feel that cooperatives are they are inborn sustainable. They are having a commitment towards the planet. So all the cooperatives you see that perhaps they are leaning. In fact, culturally India, if you see, or we call it as Bharat nowadays. So we have been following such practices from ages. So let us take the example of small dish. Okay, in Maharashtra we used to have the lunch or patravadi. So that was the plate which was made out of the leaves of the trees, or banana tree leaves in south is very popular. So this was all the green part that we were already doing for ages. Suddenly, because of this the British imposed the strategies, or the colonialization of India, we have we have written off such practices, and we are now days are coming that when we will reverse back to the original systems what we are. I used to recall now it's a very hot in Delhi and in other north part of the world. So Maharashtra also it is relatively less hot, but not as compared to north. We used to have a small we call it as panpoi, or there was a water stored in the all the chokes. So what used to happen is that everybody, so there is some need of water, nobody used to go and purchase a bottle of water. It was not like that. It was a water was available at the common place at chokes and other places. So people used to have the water and go. So it was a very nice economical sustainable practice, okay, which we have under it. Okay, we have now come up with this plastic bottles. Now in that process what we are doing is that we are increasing the cost, we are increasing the carbon content, we are increasing the plastics, and again to reduce it we are going to do some activities. So this is all unnecessary. So we are having such practices which are existing. The time has come that okay, we have to just give some modern shape, or kind of better glamour to such kind of a thing. So nowadays, once you go into hotels, everybody would like to buy a plastic bottle. Okay, so if there is a filter water, just because of some fear or some other things, we say that no, we don't want filter water, we want to have some plastic bottle only. So these are the things perhaps that is to come, that I feel that cooperatives will play a larger role, and you will see that all the sustainability initiatives, these are well taken care by our cooperatives. So the introduction to the cooperative. So as I said that the culturally difference is that the democratic ownership. The cooperatives are controlled and owned by their members, ensuring the democratic decision making and making the shared benefits. Okay, so whatever the profits, as sir was saying, sir, you were saying that okay, these are being shared across the members, that is the farmers in that case. So this is the beauty of the cooperatives. The community driven. So cooperatives are well rooted in the local communities, addressing their unique needs and challenges. So generally you see that cooperatives are meant for that locality. So any cooperatives that caters the needs of the adjacent community and adjacent locality. So they are in a better position to take care of the local communities than any other this thing. So as sir was saying that during COVID time, who has helped us are the cooperatives, the small, street shops or these things, or a cooperative organizations which were working. There has been a real help. So that we realized in this difficult time. So that remains one of the points of differentiation in cooperatives and value based. The cooperative operates based on the principles like self-help, self-responsibility, and concern for the community. So these are the value-based organizations. So these are some of the points of distinctions. So even though here the motive is beyond money, so these the idea is very simple. Even if they make many, they are supposed to share equally amongst the members. So that profiteering motive is not there, lacking in cooperatives. Sometimes that also as it is adapted to the as it is adapted to be into such projects or such activities which are supposed to make profits later on, but that later on doesn't come. So that becomes a cost, and some other many cooperatives have become sick because of this kind of system. So there where we have to play a key role. So what are the challenges that has being faced by cooperatives? The first, the challenge remains is the financial constraints. The cooperatives often struggle with the limited access to the capital and financial resources, hindering their growth and development. So generally, the funds are contributed by the members, so they have the limitation of funds. So if you go for external borrowings, that is also there are certain challenges with respect to the getting the access to the capital markets or banks or financial institutions. So that becomes a challenge. Secondly, more than that, sometimes there is also internal challenge that convincing the majority of the members that whether you want to opt for and go for any financial resources from the external sources, because what happens is that suppose there is a project and for that we have to get a loan. So some of the members may think that whether it's required or not required. Some of it is not that everybody will think on the same line. So it is a group of people. So everybody has a different thought process and different perspective to look at. So that perhaps I think more than the access, I feel that the internal decision making in cooperatives remains a challenge for this financial decisions, especially. And sometimes this is also true because what happens that, as I said that in my earlier example, they venture into some activity which perhaps is beyond their reach or beyond their scope, and they could not do it. Okay, so in that case, what happens suddenly is that this becomes a very unsuccessful venture. The money has been spent, but there is no utilization of such assets or such facilities. So it runs into losses. Ultimately, the loss also has to be borne by members, so that gets out of the funds of the members, and there wherein that negativity comes along. So this remains a challenge which I find that a lot of cooperatives are facing, especially manufacturing cooperatives. They have this challenge more. Then governance complexities, the balancing the interest of diverse members and maintaining the effective decision making can be a significant challenge. So this decision making process in cooperatives is also very different styles of voting right. Each member one voting rights like that. There is a system. So some of the times, even the smaller group of members, those who may not be accustomed to certain practices might not be convinced about venturing into certain activities or not to activate. So in such cases, that creates complexities. So of course, this can be very well being taken up or it can be uh, solved by way of awareness or convincing programs which can help them to understand how the decision could be beneficial. But not every time it gets a success. So that remains a challenge. Market competition, so that again is a very big challenge. They are competing rather with the larger well established businesses, requiring them to be adaptive and also innovative. So it is very important that cooperatives, they need to be, as they are fighting with the giants, they have to be on their toes. So many of the cooperatives who were doing well, suddenly you will find that they are not able to cope up because they are not able to adapt. Okay, the situation is changing. The earlier the change factor was the time of the change. What was more, perhaps with the technological helps, it is going very fast, and big companies, take the example of the biggest companies like Tesla, which was formed maybe 10 years back. You take the example of any Apple, maybe 15 years back. Facebook, you will find that 20 years back it was not there. So that life cycle itself is reducing. So that to cope up with that, the cooperatives needs to be very fast and adaptive to the new culture. The principles of sustainable growth, the first and foremost always been the economic viability. The ensuring the cooperatives financial sustainability through the sound business practices and efficient operations. Here, perhaps the need is there. Navneet was telling was the cost and management accounting. Okay, the cooperatives has to be sure about their financial feasibility and viability, economic viability. So here, the time has come that the cost be analyzed before it is spent. So the cooperatives in cooperative, what generally happens is that post facto analysis is something which is being practiced in cooperatives. Now, time has come that they have to align their decision making process to the corporate style of working. So that should take care of this factor of economic viability. Then social responsibility, the prioritizing the well-being of the members, employees, the local communities, and the community in the decision making. So this is also very important. And I find that this is something which cooperatives are doing very well. In fact, much better than what we can see in the other forms of the business. So that social responsibility is something which is a part of the cooperative ecosystem. And entrepreneurial stewardship, adapting to the eco-friendly practices and minimizing the cooperative's environmental impact. So here also I find that many of the cooperatives are doing very well. In fact, a lot of the green initiatives of government or environmental friendliness. So these are the many product services are being offered by the cooperatives, which perhaps has to be scaled up. When we talk about cost and management accounting, we are always focused on the cost, but here also we have to think more. If we cannot reduce the cost, the best way to increase the profitability is the increasing the revenue. So diversifying the revenue streams. So what the cooperatives has to also think that, okay, how we can increase our revenue. Rather, we have to spend, or if you have to incur a cost which can multiply my revenue. So that cost is always better to be incurred than avoided. So what perhaps the cooperatives also think on the line of the value added products. So especially rural cooperatives, I find that there is a huge scope for the value-added products. So especially, I'm also the chairman of this Agri Cost Management Board. So here we find that there are a lot of best practices, the processing of the agri products, the increasing their life cycle perishability. So for that you have to have some, for example, if you are talking about say milk cooperatives, it is very important. Rather, it's a must that a milk cooperative should have a milk powder plant. So that will help the minimize their uh, So that will help minimize their fluctuations during the time when the milk rates are down. So suppose if milk rates are down, so the cooperatives can always convert the milk into a powder, and which they can sell at when the prices are are better. So this value addition is something which perhaps can be a key with respect to the improving the revenue streams. The new market segments, so expanding into a new geographical regions or targeting the untapped customer segments. So this is somewhere they have to look at it too. Complementary services, offering the additional services that complement the cooperative's core offerings. So, say in Maharashtra, we suppose there is sugar factory. So they are expanding their base. So they start the sugar factory. Then they start. There is some nearby. There is they have started with the petrol pump. In they also have started with the financial cooperatives because many of the lot of farmers are there, lot of employees are there. So what they have done is that they also started like financial cooperative institution. So in Maharashtra we call it a Pata Sanstha, wherein they can open the account so that there is a vertical and horizontal both ways of expansion of the scope of the cooperatives, so that also can be a good source of diversifying the streams of revenue. So along with the mainstream business, they can add such businesses which can bring more value, and that also will ensure their supply chain remains intact. So suppose there's a financial cooperative. Many times we also seen that in bigger cooperative sugar factories, they have their in-house educational institutions also they are there. So they start with the schools and colleges. So community is also benefited, and the the students or the childrens of the members are also well being served. So that could be something that cooperative has to think upon. And the innovative ventures, so exploring the new opportunities such as the renewable energy or technological based solutions. So this perhaps can add to their top line, and that perhaps will improvise their bottom lines. Leveraging the technology and innovation. So on the cost side, it is very important to use this technological platforms and innovations like this process automation, implementing automation to streamline operations and increase the efficiency. So you can very well use these automations to your best, so that it will help the cooperatives to have a better operational efficiency. Data driven insights, so utilizing the data analytics to make informed and data driven decisions. So this is somewhere I find that there is abundant scope that decision making process in cooperatives. So they generally have the board. Okay, board is also the board has to present the decisions to the members, and generally board is something which drives the decision making process. So in this board, if the decisions are being taken based on the modern data analytics techniques, so that can help the cooperatives to take the decisions in a very faster and very effective way. So the time has come that they have to do something about that, and there wherein we as a management accountant can play an important role. Suppose say a sugar cooperative is there. Now, whether to go for a distillery, not to go for a distillery. In distillery also you have to have which whether you have to produce ethanol or ENA, or sell molasses or buy bagasse. So these are the decisions. Actually, these are the decisions which are going to change because this is a very dynamic world. So every decision may be the government policy of the export, may it be the case of what is happening, the how is the season in Brazil that has impact, or the crude prices, what are happening there. So these are having the implications on say industry like sugar. So it is very important that suppose you are having a stock of sugar. So when to sell, at what price to sell, which can maximize the revenues, the inventory management systems, because on the one hand side when you are delaying the decision, so your inventory cost is also going up. So you have to have a model in place which can take care of such parameters and give you a better informed decision. So there wherein I find that there is a great role for CMS to play in the cooperatives. Digital transformation, embracing the digital technologies to the enhance customer engagement and to reach newer markets. and collaborative platforms. So leveraging the online platforms to facilitate the knowledge sharing and foster the partnerships. So digital presence of cooperatives also I find that significantly low. You will not find a cooperative society doing very well on online platforms, whereas it is the most easiest and fastest way to grow. But I find that that is something which is lacking in case of a cooperatives. So the time has come that they have to learn this newer ways of doing the business. Improving the operational efficiencies. So the way of reducing the cost is also that you either you reduce the expenses or you increase your efficiency. So if you increase your efficiency, so without cutting down on the cost, also you can get a better profitability, better lower the cost and better the earnings. So what it could be is streamlining the process, the optimizing the workflows, eliminating the waste to enhance the productivity. I think here there is a good case study of Amul that how they have optimized the workflows, how they have put up the plants at different parts of the country, which will reduce their logistics costs. So you will always find that even at any place the milk of Amul is cheaper because they have worked a lot on this the streamlining and the distribution cycle and the time as well as the cost incurred for each delivery. So there when I find that they have done something very brilliantly, and that is why they are successful. That is why perhaps they are cost effective, and that is why they are profitable. So that profitability also comes with improvisation. So they have the money to spend, they can improvise it more, they can bring the advanced technology, use the best of the resources. So this is there into positive cycle. So this is somewhere perhaps the cooperatives have to really work upon. So they have to use this technologies to their best. Enhancing the supply chain, the developing the efficient and resilient supply chain, the chain management strategies. So I find here where the cooperatives are having very good edge because it is not, it is a non-profit making organizations. So they have a better supply chains. I always believe that the only thing is that they have to have better as well as efficient supply chain, because what happens is that just to maintain the relationship, there is supply chain, but whether it is giving me efficient operations or not, that is something they have to look at. The workforce development, investing in employee training, skill building to building, improving the performance. So employee training is again one aspect wherein the corporate has to look at into, and also right from the development start, right from recruitment. So at recruitment stage itself, they have to think about the efficiency part. Okay, most of the cooperatives, the recruitment, if you see, there is no formal process. Somebody, generally you will see that 90% of the engagement is through a reference. Somebody, maybe a person recommends or somebody recommends, and these people are being offered a job. So that really deteriorates the work culture as well as the increases the cost. So workforce development, right from recruitment stage to the end stage, the skill-based trainings and investing in their trainings is something which cooperatives has to do a lot. The resource optimization, utilizing resources like energy, materials in a sustainable manner. So the utilities cost is something perhaps is always a matter of concern. It is one of the maybe second or third largest cost in cooperatives, but it remains untouched because nobody bothers. Nobody looks at the way the corporates look at their energy bills, maybe a power bill or fuel bill. I don't find much of the cooperatives are bothered about it. So this is something that they have to improve upon to improvise and the cost management. Fostering the cooperative partnerships. So the knowledge sharing, collaborating with the other cooperatives to exchange their best practices, innovative ideas. So forums, perhaps NCCT can provide such forums wherein they can do a kind of a knowledge sharing. So that will help the other cooperatives to adapt the best practices. Joint initiatives, they exploring the opportunities for the joint projects such as shared marketing or procurement. So corporates typically they have the centralized purchasing, so that gives the advantage of scale. So cooperatives generally their procurements or marketing in both sides, you will find that the numbers or the volumes are missing. So if multiple cooperatives join the hands, they can do they will be a better bargaining power, and that can improvise on their cost. The mutual support, the supporting and empowering each other through the resource sharing and capacity building. So cooperatives also can extend the cooperation to other cooperatives, and jointly they can do it better. So coming to the final part of my presentation, the conclusions and the key takeaways. So the first is the sustainable growth. The cooperatives must balance the economic, social, and environmental consideration to achieve the long-term prosperity. Innovations and technology. The leveraging the technology and innovation is crucial for enhancing the efficiency as well as the competitiveness. And a collaborative approach. The fostering the partnerships and sharing the knowledge amongst the cooperatives can lead us to a collective success. So there wherein perhaps we are looking forward that cooperatives, that the vision of the government to take it to the next level. So perhaps we can all work together to have a better collaborative approach for that. So of course, we as a part of the institute, we are also very much interested in collaborating with the various cooperative as well as cooperative institutions for this the improvement process that our government want to do it. So I look forward for such any help that would be required from the Cooperative Development Board or Agriculture Board. It will be our pleasure to do that. So with this, I end my presentation. So over to you, Jivanji, for the question answer, if any.
Thank you very much, Harshad Deshpande ji, and for delivering such a nice presentation. And hope everybody has gained some knowledge out of this. And now this session is open for question and answer.
Jivanji, few questions have been published. Just we can ask Harshad ji to reply on that. And my request to all the audience who is present, they can just post the queries. So Harshad ji, our Mishra sir is also here. Our speaker Harshad ji is also here. They can answer on that. One question is there: is cooperative an alternative for socialism and capitalism? Harshad ji, over to you.
Not really. I find that, see, in capitalist economy also there are certain organizations which are cooperative. Okay, so any capitalist economist also will have cooperative. So I don't find that there is a link between them. So in socialist economy also you'll find that there are certain companies, some private organizations are there. So I feel that there is no this thing. Both can coexist at the moment.
Okay, great. Harsha Ganganji has asked one query: whether one district, one product, program, scheme offers any support to cooperative sector. Either you can reply, or if Mohan Mishra sir is here, he can reply. This is a very specific question and very good question. Practically, I must say that. Thank you, Harsha ji. So, Harsha ji, you can reply whether one district, one product, program, scheme offers any support to cooperative sector.
Yeah, there are certain initiatives which have been taken for one district. I think Mohan sir is there. Perhaps
Yes.
if you would
Mohan
like to
sir,
respond.
Mohan sir,
Please, sir.
one
Yeah.
query is there.
Yeah, I'll come to the first question. It is a socialistic or capitalistic pattern. I
Yes.
tell you, if you look at the global cooperative movement, Indian cooperative movement was highly influenced by the Britishers. This was the model they had played. Because if you have seen the Lagan picture, you will get the clue of it. The rent which is used to be collected by the Britishers from the rural India. So it was highly influenced, and that time it was that way a socialistic pattern which was touched upon, giving uh, some hope to the have-nots. But over a period of time, and right now, one committee has been established, a committee has been constituted by Reserve Bank of India. Why, if cooperative is an economic entity, why they should overlook profit, and how the market share of the cooperative could be also traded. So since the report has not come, I cannot tell you much about it. But the whole idea is there is a transformation, there is a change. If you look at the global part, the cooperatives in Europe, cooperatives in now at Great Britain or Canada or US or Australia, you'll find that they are as good because ultimately they are economic enterprise. They are not charity, they are not social enterprise. They have to keep the sustainability because there is a drawback, as rightly Deshpande ji has expressed. The access to capital is a limitation in this model, which to great extent stops its further growth. So now in the west part, this particular barrier has been removed. So what I will tell you is neither it is a capitalist model, the profit to the single hand, or nor it is a socialistic way of it was. But now over a period of time, you can treat it as an economic enterprise, which are basically formed for providing certain kind of services and product and services to their members. And from the members, the revenue stream comes. So this is on this part, I would like to say. And changes are taking place. Let's say credit cooperative, the urban banking sector, the rural banking sector, where members are there, nominal members are there. So expansion of the base of the member in different categories so that more share is being mobilized. So regarding the second part, one district, one product. Honestly speaking, this was the vision theme of Honorable Prime Minister, and it was not only meant for cooperative, but similar institution in like self-help groups, like FPOs, so that the whole country, we have around 764 districts in the country. Mapping was done, and to identify which institution, which district have specialization or which product. So after that mapping, just to make the cost effectiveness and the market for the product, the whole exercise was made, and cooperative do participate on single product this thing in the country, but it is not only limited to the cooperative sector. There are similar models which are working, are also part and partial of it, even to the extent that the one product, one district, even the startups and have been identified who are providing the services to the communities in this model. So this is my reply. It is not only meant for the cooperative, it is for other economic entity as well.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for
Over to
giving the
Chandra ji.
detailed reply.
Yeah.
Chandra ji, Ivan ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, any more questions, sir?
I think yes. Is other countries are better than India? Can't we adopt best practices of other countries? Thank you, Vaidyanath ji. You have rightly asked very good question. Over to you, sir. Mohan sir.
Well,
Whether other
yeah,
countries
I
are
got it.
better than India?
See, if you look at the cooperative sector, since is other country better than India is, I'm not taking in the general parlance, but you're talking about the cooperative, I presume that. So
Yes.
my focus is on the cooperative side. What I personally feel that even in the cooperative, there are around 22 sectors, subsectors have been identified. And this model is uh, uh, let us say in case of dairy, because of the innovation and the uh, mm, uh, supply chain uh, added advantage, we are the leader. So different sectors have playing different role, and we have enough success stories within our fold. So we cannot say that this country is good on this part and it should be blindly adopted, because the regulations are different. What I call it, access to capital is different, market branding is different, market access is different. So some models, of course, the base models are working, like the credit sector. I can say that the model in working in the Europe and Western world is definitely much better than the model which is operating in the country, because the tier cost is not very heavily loaded. But in case of like, as you all know, we have a tier system in the cooperative, primary cooperative, the grassroots, the middle cooperative, district level cooperatives are there, and then the state cooperatives and the national cooperative. So there is a added tier cost to each. So what I personally feel, many countries they do not have that tier system. They have the individual sectors, individual institution as economic entity, and they're independently working and operating. And there is a competition also among the cooperatives. But in case of our country, our legal regulatory environment is such where we have decided if a one PAX is working in an area of operation has been decided. Similarly, one marketing federation is working, it's the area of operation. So the another efficient marketing federation cannot enter. So these are the few areas where support system looking into the requirement is being given by the various state government. And by the way, cooperation is a state subject, it is not a central subject. So each state have their own regulation, own law, which is operating under which the cooperative has to function. So what I personally feel that the best practice is, if you look at in India, for a credit sector, if you look there, urban banking sector, the Maharashtra, Gujarat, and your what is called Maharashtra, Gujarat, and some area of Karnataka. So Karnataka, you can add. They are the top, having the very good best practices. Whereas if you look at the agri processing, or you look at so again Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. So there are. Similarly, if you look at overall, you divide the states. There are cooperatively advanced cooperatively advanced states, cooperatively list developed states. So in the northern part, if you come to Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, or the central India, the strength of the cooperative is not so strong for in any of the sector. So this is how we divide. But overall, there is a potential. And now, because of the lot of initiatives and intervention which have been taken up, the interest subvention benefit is being given, etc. Many good cooperatives, even in the north, are coming up. They are performing very well. So this
Thank
will
you,
bring
sir.
more success stories and better practices in days to come.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for detailed reply, sir. Jeevanji, over to you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And your presence has graced the event, Mohan sir. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
And I don't think any more questions are there, Navneet sir.
No questions are there. Now I
So
think
should
we
we,
can conclude.
yeah, we can
Thank
conclude, and you please conclude, then Isa Jain ma'am will
Isha
give
ji, are
vote
you
of
there?
thanks.
Yeah, Isha
Yes,
ji, are
sir.
you there? Yeah,
Yes.
please. Vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Cooperative Development Board of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, we would like to extend a vote of thanks to all of our presenters, organizers, and attendees for making this webinar a success. We would like to thank our President Sir and Vice President Sir of the Institute. Also thanks to our special invitee, Shri Mohan Mishra Sir, and our speaker CMA Harshad Deshpande Sir, Central Council Member CMA Jeevan Chandra Sir, and thank to our Chairman CDB, CMA Navneet Kumar Jain Sir. I want to express our sincere appreciation to our esteemed speaker and special invitee for sharing their expertise, knowledge, and valuable insights with us. Your contributions have truly enriched this webinar and provided our audience with invaluable information. Thank you once again and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. We can
Thank you.
close now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go, Mishra sir.
Thank you very much, sir.